second. I need to get somebody here with me. Got one. Let me get two, I'll get cracking. One person, one like. Wow. I guess my flyers ain't even getting out no more, man. All right, I got two. That's the title to explain. Yep. First of all, recently I went and get my passport. Me, the Thinking Man's Templar, Villain Von Doom, and a couple other people be traveling to Thailand in November. Get to see a different part of the world, different types of people, different environment. Looking forward to that. I think it's going to be exciting to see something new, see some new places, some new people, and get away from this place for a little while. I really don't know where my topics come from sometimes. I really don't understand how my brain works. I really don't understand where the stuff comes from. Yeah, definitely. But I was thinking about something a while back, and it really rang in my head. And one of the things that I heard was, serial killers like Ted Bundy, the Night Stalker, the Son of Sam, and several others. One thing that I heard from people that were like reporting on the scene and jailers and things like that was that these people had an unlimited supply of females who would have been willing to be in a cell every night, a different one, until they passed away and was executed. And when I think about that, I also think about a video that I saw where this guy from New Orleans made a video which said murder makes you popular with females. What's up, man? How y'all doing? So, like the title says, their affinity for killers, something to ponder. And when I pondered on that, I thought about something that I heard a long time ago. And something that I heard a long time ago throughout my life was like attracts like. So with that being said, if you have serial killers who killed women and got convicted for killing multiple women, but were able to have children with women while they were in jail, get married to women, and have an unlimited amount of women in their fan club writing them, trying to get with them, and deal with them, it kind of lets me know to the what's going on the inside of these people. Because we all know, men and women are created opposite of each other. So men are created to be hard on the outside, to be physically tough, to be able to do things and build things. But we're also built on the inside to be, empathetic and to be caring of others and not want to hurt people. So when they see something as far as a man goes, being opposite of what he is on the inside or what he should be on the inside, which is, peace bringing, and all those kind of things. I think it attracts it to them because on the inside, that's how they really feel, man. And I know that shit might sound crazy to some people. Um, but I mean, I didn't make this up. This is not nothing I made up. I would love to sit here and say that I made up the fact that Ted Bundy could have had a different woman in his cell every day for the rest of his life until he passed away. And if left alone with these women, he would have killed every one of them. But they still wanted to go in there with him and have that experience, man. And then when you look at the flip side of this, look at the flip side of it. You look at it from their affinity for killers, and then look at their disgust for good men. And you have like decent men out here, man, guys that are naturally nice, man, that are naturally good men, bro, that have a lot going for themselves, that carry themselves the right way, that are intelligent, that are attractive, that have money, that are good men, that can't, I would say, attract or keep around any kind of female attention. And when you think about that, that explains to you the condition of the type of females that they have, at least where I live. And sometimes what I have to do to myself is I have to speak to the person that I used to be in third person, man. Like I literally have to speak to the other half of myself, the blue pill version of me who was blue pilled and had a certain set of ways of thinking before I got to the pill, that I literally got to talk to myself as one eye and remind myself of the reality of what I'm dealing with out here, man. Because the old me still tries to creep in. The old me still tries to come in and convince me that there's a way around this. And maybe I'm just tripping, and maybe that things aren't the way I think they are and everything like that. But I literally have to convince myself, like, bro, this is what's going on out here, man. And if it was just going off of hearing what people have to say in this community, if it was just going off of something I read, if it was just going off of something that I saw in a YouTube video, then maybe I might think that what I believe is wrong. But the sad part about this is I lived the experience of dealing with these kind of things, and I've seen women literally be attracted to evil, like you said, like they're attracted to evil. And I've literally had women who have been in my presence and literally said things like trying to set somebody up to get robbed, talking about maybe taking someone out to get something from them. And even though they laughed this off in a sarcastic fashion with a smirk and a smile on their face, just the fact that they said that means it was in their mind somewhere. And I look at me as a man and most men that I come into contact with, and I seriously doubt that throughout the day, we come up with things where taking somebody out would be a legitimate option. Because I go throughout my day and I don't think of those kind of things. I don't, as a man, like I'm not attracted to evil at all. I'm not attracted to confusion, chaos, or any of these types of things. It's not something that strikes me in any kind of way. So another thing I noticed too is I do a lot of observation. I do a lot of undercover work, if you want to call it. I go to a lot of places and see a lot of things, and most men are prevented from, I see a lot of things. And in the land that I live in, which is America, I see how something that should be shameful is actually praised. And something that holds very little value is valued above all else. And sometimes I wish I didn't know all this stuff. Sometimes I wish I didn't see all this stuff. Sometimes it could be a heavy burden knowing all of this and still having to live in this place. But when I think about it, like I even heard a story today, okay? One of my good friends called me and he said, I got a good one for you, because all of my friends know I'm a pillar. All of my friends know about my channel. All of my friends know about the type of life I live. Uh, am I applying? I'm not implying that because I'm just bringing evidence of what I've seen. And if that is the conclusion that is to be drawn from this, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe that they are do I believe that they are I believe there's a good bit of women out there who are decent. When I say a good bit, I mean very few. Um, very few. Most of all, what you're gonna find is people who are on the hunt for some kind of, see, this is the whole thing about it. I'm gonna really say something that I've been noticing a whole lot lately. Uh it is given unto us that men are the conquerors, okay? That we are that we are thirsty for etheric blood. Yeah. We're known as we are shown as the conquerors, as the conquistadors, as the ones who come and overtake and override and do all of this kind of stuff. And we're always on the hunt. We're always looking for it. Well, that may have been the case at one time. That may have been the case. But in all actuality, oh, yeah, in all actuality, it's the exact opposite of that now. Because when I go out in public, I go to places like the gym, and I go to places like bars, and I go to places where there's social get-togethers and gathering. The men are not the hunters anymore. The men are not the pursuers. The men are not the conquerors. It's totally flipped. And in all actuality, it's the women in there who are looking around. High bristophilia is when people are attracted to, okay, well, they got a lot of high bristophiliacs out there, bro. When I look around, I see women being in places, engaging. Some women have their men killed by hitmen, and those same men will have jumped in front. That's a great analysis, Alex, and you know that I got number love for you, bro. So do you go into a place, and now how it used to be at one time, I'm sure men went into places and they engaged women. Um, yeah, that's a good one. And they gauged women, and then they went down the line of who was attractive and who did this and who did that. And then at the end of the night, they would probably end up leaving with what they thought was their best option and had a good time. But that's not the case anymore, brothers. You walk in a place, and now all the women in there are gauging you. And they may come speak to you, but it's in the capacity of, what can this person do for me? I would love to say it's because of your looks. I would love to say it's because of your charisma or your personality or any of those type of intangible type of things. But I literally have girls come up to me and tell me things indirectly like they want a sugar daddy. And the sad part about all of this is, is that no matter what, even though you have all this evidence in front of your eyes and you know all these things, you still can't change the fact that you're a man. You can't do it. You can't change the fact that innately inside of you, you're still a man. And you may have people come on here on these channels and all these type of things and all of this and say that you could like not have the desire anymore and you cannot. And maybe they have people who do come on here and they have eradicated the desire to deal with women in any form of fashion. But even when I go back and listen to some of the founders of the Red Pill and some of the beginning content creators such as Stardust and people like that, they went through phases where they still had interest in women and it came back on them. And the scary part about that is, this is the really scary part. It's gonna happen to all of us. But the sad state of affairs, and this is why I'm leaving the country and I'm going to visit Thailand, and then we're going to go to Colombia, and we're going to go to all these places where you can't be totally destroyed, at least by the court systems, and you may be able to get some semblance of respect out of the women that you deal with there. I can't be poor, bro. I appreciate that, but I won't be poor. But now, once that interest returns in you and you start going out in the world and you start to interact with females again, you have to know that it is an endeavor that can cost you your life. Like, it is literally an endeavor that can cost you your life. If you don't believe me, I will give you an example of the latest experience that King One Eye has had with a female. Okay. So I had this young lady come over to my house, and I didn't really have those type of feelings for her to even be coming to my house. But due to me still having some semblance of being a decent person, I don't like to hurt people, bro. So this is a different one. It's not the same girl, Mr. Farmer. It's different. This is even better. So she arrives at my home, and we're just talking or whatever, and she kind of puts her hand on me, and I kind of move away. And she says, I just want to touch you. And I'm like, I don't really want to be touched right now. And we get to a point to where, I divert and I say, hey, come see this. And I show her something. And we get into my room and she wants a hug. So I give her a hug. And in the process of this happening, now this is my experience. I'm not making this up. This is reality. And I show my face on these videos because I really don't care. In the midst of that happening, her phone starts to make this funny noise. Okay? And it's not a text message noise. And it's not a ring noise. It's a noise that's like, doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm like, okay. So I hear the noise again, and it goes, doo-doo-doo-doo. So she gets up and goes to her phone. When she goes to her phone, she says her old man is trying to use or is using the Find My iPhone app to find where she is at. So she's not answering his calls or his messages. So he starts putting the Find My iPhone app on her phone to find where she's at. So I instantly say, get the fuck out of my crib, man. She's like, well, no. Get the fuck out of my crib. Go. Well, I know people. No. You got to get the fuck out of here. So after her leaving my crib, she called me 5 times and sent me 10 text messages on why what happened didn't happen, and it wasn't that, and it was somebody else, and no, she wasn't married, bro. And how she told me, no, man, it wasn't her. How she told me she's gonna eradicate this situation, and she just wants to get to know the avatar. I'm not gonna put my real name out here. Some people know it. I'm not gonna put it. I just want to get to know the avatar, and I really care about the avatar. And I didn't respond to any of that. And I'm gonna be honest about this, man. This is 100% honesty, because some people on here know me personally, like MGTOW Farmer, A Crumpler, a couple people. They always talk about, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that if she try to get in touch with me again. They always talk about women will make rules for betas and break rules for alphas. So I'm gonna do one about men. What we'll do, we'll make rules for chicks that we're not really attracted to, and we'll break rules for ones that we really are. And what I mean by that is this. I'll go back on an older experience I had. And this is just me looking at myself, because I think that's very important to do. I think it's very important as a man to analyze yourself and to analyze your skill sets, your liabilities, what you're good at, what you're not good at, where you need to do better at, where you can show up better at. So what I mean by that is this. That girl that was at my home, I was not really attracted to her like that. So there was no way in hell that I'm going to take any risk. Can she cook? Will she clean? Is she smart? Does she have a female figure? In that order. Okay. So like I said, this girl, I mean, she bought me presents before. She's wanted to cook for me. But me, I know what I value as a man. And one of the most important things that I value is the physical makeup of a woman. And what I mean by that is, my flavor is, I like a woman between 5 foot and 5'3", between say 100 to 115 pounds, brunette hair, olive skin, nice breasts, nice butt, petite. That's my flavor. I love hair too, bro. Long black hair. So with that being said, the person that came to my home, although as long as I've been here since 2012, every MGTOW came from Barbara Russell, Stars Gus, Mayor of MGTOW, DDJ, Sandy Man, Miggy 101, Howard Dare, Chris Cantu, the AIDS Monkey, all are hypocrites. What up, underdog? 2 girls I used to know hit me up the same time, both in relationships, saying they just want to stay in touch. Okay. So what you think about me, underdog, the young legend? Feel free to comment freely, man. Even if you got criticism, bro. You know I got love for you no matter what, man. But I just feel like I'm honest, man. I never came on here to try to be nothing I wasn't, or try to act like nothing I wasn't. I always had transparency about where I was at. Appreciate you, bro. So look, and this is just reality. So the girl that came to my home was probably 5'6" She wasn't 115 pounds. She probably about like 125 or something like that. Maybe I'm giving her a little slack. The moral of the story is I didn't feel that chemical attraction to her. So there was no way in hell that I was going to take any risk at all to put myself in any type of precarious situation to deal with that. But when it comes to someone who I ended up getting with one time and dealing with for an extended period of time, it was that same type of situation, except she was 5'2", about 107 pounds, had some nice store-bought accessories, and was a very pretty woman in the face with long black hair and all of that. So the moral of the story is we got rules we'll break too. But the only rule I didn't break was this. I never put a ring on any of their fingers, man. I never signed a paper. I lived with one. So with that being said, I'm not saying that Charles Manson and some of them were, yeah, absolutely. He was married a few times and got children with people, man. Yeah, that's insane. So I'm just saying I'm not immune from some female out there who fits the physical bill of what I like, who has charisma and has seduction tactics and all this kind of stuff, from making me do some stuff that's not smart. I'm still a human being. I'm still a man. I'm not trying to act like I'm not this, red pill robot, and I don't, see women who I find are attractive and, feel certain urges and things toward them. But what I'm trying to say is you always have to weigh the risk versus reward factor, man. And one of the most important things that I came up with, the guys tell me to get a face tattoo. Yeah, bro, you need to get like Green Acres tattooed on your forehead or something, bro. That would be fire, bro. Like right on top of your eye, like green, and then acres right there, bro. That shit would be lit. But this is one thing that I really have come into grips with, which really makes me think about kind of never ever putting myself in a position with women to deal with them in any sort of relationship context or anything like that. Because I really found out what it was as a man that I really want, man. And what I found that I really wanted was love, man. I look over my life. I look at situations I've been in. I look at people that I've dealt with. And I came to the conclusion that beyond sex, beyond any of that, what I really wanted was love. To be genuinely loved for who I am. Not for what I had, not for how I made them feel, not for any of that. And the one thing that keeps me from getting myself back in a situation like that is I truly understand that they don't love us, man. Like, I truly get that. Like, I truly get that they don't love us, man. And how did I come up with that conclusion? I came up with that conclusion from this. I looked at how I reacted whenever a so-called long-term relationship ended with a woman that I loved, how I reacted to it and how they reacted to it. And then I talked to multitudes and multitudes of men. I'm talking about hundreds, thousands, people on my channel throughout history, men that I've talked to. And they still tell me that there is a woman today that they were in a situation with who they still think about to this day, even if it's years later. But I've never talked to a woman one time who ever said years later she still was thinking about the dude. Men take years, women take weeks to days, if that long. So I came to the conclusion of this. If they can't love me and they can't bring to the table what I bring, then why should I even deal with them, man? For what? For entertainment? I'm not really looking for entertainment. I can entertain myself. For sex, yeah, sex is nice. I mean, but why would I want to have sex with someone who could potentially ruin my life, who doesn't care about me anyway? So I looked at it like this. Because I actually told myself, I told who I used to be and who's still part of me last night. I spoke to him through one eye. I spoke to him through one eye. And I know I may sound crazy, but this is just whatever. This is the truth. I speak to myself. I speak to myself. I do. Because sometimes I have to check that dude, man. And I told him this. I said, there's two things that you can do. You can either accept this reality of what you know to be true and go on with your life and move past all of this and live a solitary, secluded, peaceful life and continue to move forward. Or you could do this. You can become like them and use the same tactics on them that they use on us to get your desired result. But that's only if your desired result is to sleep with them. And at the end of the day, what I understand is that's never been my desired result. It's never been my desired result, man. Like, you'll have people say this and you'll say this and say that and everything like that. But what I come to understand, like, when I love somebody and dogs and supplement my relationships with the Hong Kong club in Tijuana works just fine. That's probably fire. I'll probably get a chance to do some stuff like that in Thailand when I get there. So I just been having a lot of revelatory things happening for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm crazy, but y'all let me know I'm not crazy. And all my other friends let me know I'm not crazy too, that I'm normal, that this is like just part of being woken up to what's going on out here. But I just thought about that thing, the killers, man. Like, I remember me and my friend Trent No Spoons Code having a conversation one time. And one of the things that he said was, if they had our bodies, we'd all be dead. And that was interesting to me, because I thought to myself, wow, don't come back from the East. I wouldn't blame you. I get it, man. Like, if they had our bodies, we would all be dead. And he said he saw a vision of what the world could be like 200, 300, 400 years from now. And it was a vision of them killing off all of us and only keeping a few of us as slaves in cages to further the human race and keep this going. And I know that sounds crazy, man. But if you look at the condition of the world and you look at the direction that it's going in, that may be the direction that the place that we live is going in. Because you can see the effeminization of men. I never thought I'd live to see a time when, quote unquote, gangster rappers would be wearing dresses and purses and basically cloaking homosexuality and like making themselves look ambiguous to what sexual persuasion they are. It's mind blowing to me. And getting back to what the whole video started at, I might be ranting, but it's just on my mind. Whatever, this is therapeutic to me. Hopefully, it helps somebody else. But at the end of the day, it helps me. It just gets shit out of my head. If you ever notice the thing about it is with the bad boy concept and all that. I worked at a prison for a while. The amount of mail the serial killers got was astounding. Yeah, I didn't just make this up, man. This is reality. That's the plan with their future is female. Well, you can't meet to a man who looks like that makes sense. I guess they're just like trying to like. I mean, look at this for instance. Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner because he was continually around all the Kardashian people, man. That made him so crazy that he did that crazy shit, man. You know, it is insane out here, man. So the weird part about it is going around and walking around as a masculine man and seeing all these emasculated dudes out here, man. Like, dudes are hella effeminate out here right now, man. Dudes are hella like effeminate out here, bro. And it's across Nimri 80. What's up, man? Who that is? My boy, I bet you say Shaitan, man. Yeah, man. And I got a couple partners from the East, man. And the Antichrist will be a woman. Feminism, Jenner wanted all the privileges of a woman. So now when I look at it, I think to myself, what's the solution? Because it's a strange thing to have all this information and all of what's up, my brother? It's a strange thing to have all this information and all this knowledge and then still have a part of you that you can't control that wants to deal with these people, man, if you want to call them people. So one thing that I came up with, at least in my life, is if I'm going to deal with them in any form or fashion, I'm never going to put myself in a disadvantageous position or a position that could possibly bring harm to my life. Because I don't like having to ride around with a pistol, man. You know, I don't like having to think about everything I do before I do it. But like the situation at hand, I said, you could get yourself in a situation out here where a chick doesn't even tell you she's dealing with somebody. And that dude could put the Find My iPhone app and come catch y'all somewhere and do you something and you couldn't even see it coming. I'm just talking about the reality of things going on out here today. And you might have people say, well, you just dealt with the wrong kind of women and you attract the wrong kind of women and you deal with the wrong kind of women. But I'm here to tell you that I've dealt with all kind of women. I've dealt with hood chicks, rich chicks, high class chicks, low class chicks, white chicks, Indian chicks, Asian chicks, educated chicks, college chicks, basically all across the board, older chicks, younger chicks, single mothers, chicks with no kids, all these things. And I'm just here to tell you, man, that it's all the same game. It's just different versions of it. You know, I basically told my own mother, no, that's not a chick though, bro. I basically broke down to my own mother how men are the givers of love and women are the receivers. And that we are the ones who give love and they're the ones who receive it. They're not capable of giving it. And my mom basically agreed with me, man. My mother agreed with me, man. What about getting a 22-year-old sugar baby? Overseas, remember? Yep. Well, I don't know, Ken Abel. I don't think that would probably be a bad route, but I just like, all right, here's my rant on that. By the time a girl's 22 years old in America, she's probably had at least, on the low end, at 22, she's probably had at least 10 sexual partners, or on the high end, 25. So you say between 10 and 25. So you're telling me that it would be worth giving someone money and facilitating someone's lifestyle who has had at least 10 cocks inside of them. See, that's why I never could understand paying for a vagina or giving money to chicks or any of this kind of stuff. Look, maybe, I'm saying maybe. Maybe if you got a woman who was a virgin, who didn't know anyone else but you, who would only know you as a man, and you would have them in a different country than this, maybe overseas, maybe somewhere, her value would be high. Because the reality of this is that every woman that a man sleeps with, she bonds with him. We don't bond with every woman we sleep with. Look, I'm in a situation right now where I may have to flee. Well, you got to get out, bro. And at 18, likely already at 5. Yeah. So look, if you ever wonder why a woman's quote unquote bipolar or narcissistic or has multiple personality disorder or has all these crazy mental issues and everything like that, it's simple. It's because she's delved into so many realities that she's a part of every person that she had experience with. And you have to think about it. You have to think about it. You have to think about this, okay? If I go back to the fact that they have affinity for killers, okay? They have affinity for killers. And good men and nice men and men who have good morals, ethics, and standards and have good hearts are not attracted to 95% of them. Who are they sleeping with? Think about this for a second. Think about this for a second, man. If they're attracted to scumbags, bums, drug dealers, criminals, prisoners, killers, and all this kind of shit, who do you think they're sleeping with? They're not sleeping with the nice guys. They're not sleeping with the good guys. They may take money from those guys, but they're not sleeping with those guys. They're sleeping with people who have bad spirits. And every one of those people that all right, if they're taking on the identity of every one of those people that they're sleeping with, what does that make them? Think about it. So you may be sitting there with a woman who you think is there with you, but you could be sitting next to 50 different people. Just think about that for a second. Because I'm sorry to tell you, for any women that listen to my channel, it's the spirits from all the men that have penetrated. The imprint is real. Any woman listening to my channel, we don't bond with every one of y'all that we sleep with. I'm just sitting here to tell you that. We don't bond with every one of y'all that we sleep with. It's not happening. I'm not proud of this. It's not something I hold as a badge of honor. But I've slept with many women. And when I say that the spirit of only one of them lingers with me, the spirit of only one of them lingers with me. But let me tell you this, with them, it's different. It is different. I've seen it myself. I've seen them do things like this. Check it out. We don't ever like to do something the same that a man has done with a woman before us. Hybrid, yeah. Infatuation with serial killers. You can't see it. You can see it in their personality. Yeah. So what we try to do is we always try to create a new experience with a woman. And what I mean by that is we want to bring her to a new restaurant, or we want to bring her to a new place, or we want to go do something she's never done, or do something that she's never done with anybody else. But check this out. And this is something I have experience with. They try to bring you to go do the same things that they've done with other people, to relive those experiences that they had with those other peoples with you. And since they live in a dual reality, they feel like they're having twice the experience because they're doing the same thing with you that they did with somebody else, where they did it with the other person. And now they'll be able to live in two realities at one time. So if they have all these different realities in the inside of them, and all these different personalities, and all these different characteristics and everything like that, you have to ask yourself, are they ever really with you? Why do you think people from Islamic countries will not deal with women or marry women who are not virgins? Because they understand the esoteric connotation of dealing with a woman who has been with multiple sexual partners, man. Once a woman has been with multiple men, multiple men, she can never stay committed to one. And guess whose fault that is? Guess whose fault that is? It's ours. I'm going to tell you why. Because I have friends that I know that will marry women for the third time. I mean, they'll be on their third divorce, and my friends will marry them. And not understand comparison, brother. You open the door for comparison when you have multiple relationship or multi-experience. Yep. So that's a very good point. I'm gonna speak on that for a second. So when a person who has multiple realities comes into a situation with you, they're always comparing you to an experience that they had before you, or an experience that they could have while they're with you, or an experience that they could have after you. Gotta go, man. Good. Yes, sir. No problem. I appreciate y'all. So the sad part about all of this is MGTOW was a man's fault. Screwed up women, screwed up men, screwed up family. It's the lack of male Yeah, absolutely. Because guess what? Guess who creates most of these deviants, man? Guess what creates them on both sides of the fence? Not having no father in the home, or living in a home where the mother runs the home. It's a sad truth. So I have just been putting one foot in front of the other one. I have just been trying to focus on work. I've been going to the gym a lot recently. And I just been being quiet a lot, man. All they want to do is be entertained by whoever entertains them the most, purely selfish. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna wrap this up, but this is a funny thing, okay? So I got a friend who is married, and he's a boat captain, which means he drives tugboats. Oh yeah, I do have friends, man. And he probably works 300 out of the 365 days a year gone. Now, what this facilitates is his wife living in a $400,000 house, driving a $100,000 Escalade, and she just upgraded recently from the $5,000 wedding ring that he bought her to a $15,000 wedding ring for her, that he bought for her, to upgrade after 5 years, 10 years, something like that. And this is how I'm going to tell you they gauge the love. This is how they gauge love. So when she went to the nail salon and she was getting her nails done, and the women in the nail salon saw the ring on her finger, the first thing that they said was, "Ooh, he must really love you." So with that being said, they gauge how much a man loves them by how much he'll give them. So I understand that all the ones that I've dealt with so far probably believe that I don't love them because I never gave them anything. And that's okay. Because guess what? I know for a fact that my presence is enough. That I know for a fact that any woman I've ever dealt with in any form or fashion, I made their life better. When they were with me, their life was better. When they weren't around me, their life was worse. And I don't mean that from a financial standpoint or anything like that. I mean that from an overall spectrum. I've been with chicks who used to drink a lot. As soon as they get around me, they stop drinking. Might have been doing other kind of things, stop doing that. Like I make people's lives better just by my presence being in it. And that's why I could take solace that anybody who left me behind, they wasn't doing they weren't doing me a disservice, man. They were doing themselves a disservice. Like I know that. So if they gauge the love off of what you'll do for them or what you'll spend on them or what you'll give them, I guess none of them are ever gonna think that I love them because I understand like I'm not giving anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting the ring on nobody's finger. I'm not moving anybody in my home. I'm not paying anybody's bills. I'm not spending any money on anybody. And when you a true one, when you true and you got some nuts, you really got some nuts, they'll do shit for you. Because throughout my life, I've had women like buy me gifts and give me clothes and buy me food and take me out to eat and do all these kind of things, you know. But it never lasts. It's called bringing something to the table. Yeah. But like I say, Messi, we don't ask for much, man. Like a woman asked me, what do men want from women? I said, all we want is a woman we're attracted to who don't deny sex, who respects us and is loyal to us and nice. That's it. We don't care about your education level. We don't care about how much money you make, what kind of job you have. Just be nice, you know? So it was just a really dangerous thing that happened to me with that chick, like getting to find my iPhone out and trying to like come at me, man, you know? So the thing about it is this. The thing about it is this, man. I can't be king one eye everywhere I go. And I understand that. I cannot be the man with one eye, king one eye, either one of those people, which is the same person at one time. I can't bring that dude out everywhere I go with me. It's not feasible in the world that I live in. But I also got to keep my government name person in check too. Because that dude will go out there and fuck me up, man. Because that motherfucker still tried to convince me of some crazy shit, man. Like he still tried to convince me of some crazy shit. And I got to remind that dude, like, it's dangerous just to have sex with a woman now, man. Like it's legitimately dangerous just to have sex with a chick. And I think to myself how crazy that is, man. Well, yeah, that's a great comment. We good men intimidate women because we bring up. Yeah, bro. I think that really happened. A few times when I dealt with women, man. They really saw the goodness and the shine in me, and it made it like reflect upon them about them not showing up like that. Because other men will with guns will come if we do. Yeah, men want women. That will never change, and it's used against us by women in legal. Yeah. So now I look at it like, first of all, you can catch a disease that'll kill you. And I'm just going to tell you the STD rates are out of the stratosphere, man. They got women I know who tell me stories about women that they know who have herpes and all these kind of STDs and everything like that. And like know that they have them and voluntarily sleep with men and don't tell them anything. I've had multiple women tell me this, that they know women that do this on the regular basis. And I don't want to have like bumps on my dick and shit like that, bro. Like I don't want to, I don't want to have to go to a doctor and have to get Valtrex and all this kind of crazy ass shit, man. Yeah, and STD sharing is no, yeah. I don't want a gift that keeps on giving. Or you can have sex with a chick Like I know a guy in my hometown, bro. Like they got a whole Facebook page where women are saying all this kind of stuff about he did this and he did that, and he has evidence to the contrary, and had to like show that like he kept cameras in his home and kept text messages in his phone and kept recordings and everything to like show that these women were like really trying to set him up to like get him in trouble. And then they knew he had a lot of money, so if they couldn't get a criminal investigation or a criminal charge on him, they'd be able to get a civil case. Man, my homeboy's baby mama is hitting me up right now trying to start. Let me see this. Right now, trying to start, man, shaking my hand. Women can't be trusted. Ain't that crazy, bro? Ain't that crazy, bro? And she ain't even hitting you up, bro, because she really probably feeling you or nothing like that, bro. She's only doing that, bro, because that's your homeboy, bro. I mean, Juvenile even made that shit up, bro. Like, you gotta watch yourself with these hoes, man. It's never about like, it's never about Nomi G or MGTOW Form or Alejandro's or MGTOW Life or Messy Thrills or Ken Abel or We're All Fucked or The Man with One Eye or King One. It's never about you, man. It's never about your essence, bro. You will never be cared for by a woman because of your essence, man. Of what makes you, your spirit, your innate abilities, your just who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'll never be appreciated for that, man. Never. Never. You'll never be appreciated for that ever, man. You'll only be with you because of what you look like or how you can make them laugh or what you can provide for them, what you can do for them. But guess what? It's the crazy part about it. If you want to go back into the relationship game, this is what you got to look forward to. In America, at least. I've never been anywhere else, but in America. This is what you got to look forward to. Knowing that always someone come along who is better than you in all the areas. Somebody can come along that looks better than you, got more money than you, can make her laugh better than you, makes her feel more than you. And guess what? If that guy comes along, your turn is over and he's getting his. Trust me. Trust me. He's getting his turn. Darius just made a video. Women are always single. And that is very true. Because if the right dude comes around, even if she's married, she's single. Now, may it have been different in different times? Sure. I'll say that. You know? But not the time that we live in now. And you may have people say, I'm upset and I'm angry because I don't have access to the type of women that I want. And I don't have access to the type of females that I want to deal with. But let me just tell you that this is not true. This is not true. I'm not an incel or any of those things or a TFLer. Any of that. I am what you would call someone who could be looked at as a person who is really like a red pillar. Because guess what? I've had experiences with all kind of women. I've had experience with all kind of women. I choose to live this way of life because I understand the reality of the world that I live in. And when I came to the understanding that women don't love me and what I wanted was love, there was no reason for me to play anymore. There was no reason for me to play anymore. Because what I wanted was someone to love me. And what I mean by love me is this, man. And this is what I'm going to say love me means. Someone who I could be myself around and they accepted me. Not someone I felt like I had to play defense. Not someone that I felt like I couldn't show my true feelings. Not someone who I felt like I had to put on an act for. Not someone who, no, man. And guess what? I never been around a woman that I could be myself. I always had to think before I did. And the thing about it is that's not freedom, man. That's not freedom, having to think about what you do before you do it. Because guess what I realized? And this is a strange thing that I realized. And it'll be a realization that most of us come to that stick around here long enough. Being single, living on my own, and not having any type of women in my life to distract it in any kind of way, I can do whatever I think about doing without thinking about it. I don't have to think or ask or determine if this is gonna upset this person, or because guess what? Even in the relationship that I was in, I never wanted to do anything that was wrong. Ever. I just wanted to do stuff to keep my identity. And guess what? I was never allowed to do that. I was always said before it started how wonderful I was. And as it continued, I was always trying to be changed into something else when I was perfectly fine being who I was. So, with all that being said, if you continue to go the red pill way, continue to live this lifestyle, and continue to live in this world, you're going to have confusion sometimes. You're going to have bouts with loneliness. You're going to have bouts with desires. You're going to have bouts with yourself. You're going to have bouts with everything. But you know at your core that you're preserving yourself, man. Because you know. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end this shit, man. It's a lonely road to travel. Yes, I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this shit. Really got to try out Hong Kong or other leaders in Tijuana. And Tijuana, yeah, I probably could go to Mexico without a passport too, huh, bro? Well, look, maybe I'll this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna shut up, bro. This is what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna shut up. And this is a reality check for everybody in here with me, and everybody that sees my videos, and everybody that ever stumbles across my content, or anybody that comes across me in life that allows me to share this information with them. Once you take the pill, there's no going back. You hear what I'm saying? You can never unknow this shit once you know this shit. You can't ever go back. It's impossible. I tried. I have a fucking video that started my channel back off, a 2020 MGTOW 10-day investigation where I tried to go back and live and be in a relationship with a woman and it lasted 10 days. Because guess what? Now I knew. So with all that being said, I'm grateful y'all was in here with me. I feel like this was a therapy couch for me. I needed to get this shit off of my chest. I hope it helped somebody. If not, it helped me. I'm glad y'all all in here to support me. I'll be back soon with some more content. I'm going to try to start pushing out more. Been busy with work, and I appreciate y'all. And I'm glad y'all in this fight with me. And I'm going to keep on fighting, man. So I'm going to come with something new, whatever strikes my brain pretty soon. And I'm out, man. Y'all have a good one, bro. I appreciate y'all being in here with me.